Arsenal 2, Brentford 1, and no thanks to that flipping blonde British Loris Karius Filuta Puta in flipping Ramsdale. What were you doing? We're going to start with you, Filuta Puta, because you've been crying, doing interviews, man's doing all these interviews, man's doing drink champs, man's doing the tell-all, do you know what I'm saying? Man's doing the flipping peers with your dad at the start of the season. Oh, you got to start as a goalkeeper, you want to be number one, oh, it's not fair, you're not getting enough game time, and this is the bucaria that you do. This is the bucaria performance that you do, yeah? Kai Havertz has to save your ass, you absolute clown. Yeah, absolute clown. This guy's goalkeeping is like Jack in the Titanic. You're sinking, bro. You are sinking. You filo da puta. You budget Leonardo DiCaprio filo da puta. The blonde flipping Ed Sheeran. I'm so sick and tired of Ramsdale, bro. Get that flipping filo da puta errua. Man has gone back, yeah? Let's not forget, start of the season, man's going back, getting his dad to do interviews, doing podcasts, doing YouTube shows because you want to start games. Start of the season, you didn't cement yourself a place in this team because you're a bum, because you wasn't performing well. Instead of complaining and moaning, why don't, when you get your chance and your opportunity, actually go out there and perform? You absolute bum. Absolute bum. This is what I'm talking about. And this is why I don't like this goalkeeper. I'm tired of the rubbish, bro. Let your performances speak. Let your performances speak for themselves. It's easy to go run and get your dad. I ain't even called my mum since year 3. For my mum to come and back me and anything. You went there like a little bitch, complaining, oh, they're bullying me. I'm not getting a chance. I'm not getting an opportunity. You get an opportunity and look at this bucaria, bro. This filo da puta almost got lobbed by Irvin Tony, bro. Flapping it around like Angry Birds. What are you talking about, bro? Not good enough. It's easy to stand there complaining and bitching and moaning. What kind of bucaria was this? What kind of bucaria was that? We were cruising 1-0. 1-0. We literally had a minute before half time, yeah? And you go and do that. And it wasn't even a hospital pass from Gabriel. It was a normal pass. You had time. You could have reacted, but no. This filo da puta decided to take a touch and then take an eternity to kick it and hoof it up. It's easy sitting there saying, oh, the manager ain't picking me, ain't choosing me, I'm not getting any game time. What kind of bucaria is that? Why should Mikel Arteta play you ahead of Raya after this kind of bucaria performance, bro? It's an embarrassment. Absolute embarrassment. It wasn't a hospital pass. You had all the time in the world, and that is what you're doing. Then you come out in the second half and you're flapping around. Every corner flapping around. Everything flapping at it, punching at it. No control. We have been absolutely fantastic for the last 7 odd games, yeah, defensively, until this flipping Ed Sheeran blonde filo da puta comes on the pitch and does these howlers, bro. It's a disgrace. It ain't good enough. It ain't good enough. It's all okay moaning about performances, but that's not good enough. Nah, sack. I'm done with this filo da puta. He can go. I'm done with Aaron Ramsdale. I am done, bro. I am done. This guy's had multiple opportunities. Start of the season, both Raya and Ramsdale were dropping stinkers. Both of them were dropping stinkers. When he was moaning, you could have made yourself the number one again, because Raya was looking rocky, making mistakes, distribution out from the back, flapping at it as well, making mistakes in the box as a goalkeeper. You could have cemented your place in this team. But then when the manager was picking Ramsdale to come into the team, you was doing the same thing. And then you still believe that you deserve to be starting games based off of what? Because of what? It makes no sense. Start of the season, the number one position for the goalkeeper was up for grabs. You didn't take it. Now we actually can't play Raya because he's cupped, because of the fact that he's here on loan and he can't play against his actual club at this moment in time, which is still Brentford. You've got an opportunity to get in the good graces of the goalkeeper with the manager, and what do you do? What do you do? It's the same old bucaria, bro. Leonardo DiCaprio, Titanic setting sinking. That is what you're doing. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's easy to stand there complaining and bitching and moaning. You could have cost us today. You could have cost us today. Because I tell you what, we wasn't absolutely incredible today. We wasn't incredible today. There was a lot of opportunities that were missed, but you still should have done a lot better. This filo da puta is not good enough. Not good enough. I don't want to see him to the end of the season. I don't want to see him to the end of the season. And at the end of the season, I want him sacked. I get rid of him, sell him. I don't care what we do with him. What? It was just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Howler after howler. And then you've got the audacity to be doing this one. What do you think you are? You think you're the people's champ? Do you think you're the Rock? Who do you think you are? So filo da puta. What's all of this to the crowd? What's all of this? We got back in because of Kai Havertz. And props to Kai Havertz. I wanted him to be clutch. Kai Havertz has scored now 4 in 4. Big up to Kai Havertz. I'm not going to diss Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz came on and did his job. This is what I'm expecting by my third highest signing. But it shouldn't have got to that. It shouldn't have got to that. It should not have got to that. And that completely changed the rhythm in the second half. Second half, we didn't play the way we were playing in the first half. With Jorginho creating chances for the front three. With Odegaard creating chances as well. We wasn't. We were looking at set pieces. Brentford started roughing us up. And this is all because of flipping Ramsdale. That flipping filo da puta that ain't good enough. That is why. That is why we looked rattled. We had no flow to the way that we were playing. We were snatching at it, shots from long range. We just didn't look calm. We didn't look collective. We looked like we were just chasing that. And I felt like the pressure of the occasion started to come on top. We knew that we had to win to go top of the league. We know that Liverpool and Man City are going to play tomorrow. And you could see that the players were feeling the pressure. And why was the pressure? Because of this filo da puta in Ramsdale. That is why we're feeling the pressure. It's absolutely a disgrace. Absolutely a disgrace. The one thing I will say about Ramsdale before I move on, because I'm sick and tired of talking of this flipping Ed Sheeran filo da puta. I don't know if you think the Mikel Arteta is the Spanish flipping Simon Cowell, but Simon Cowell does the X Factor. Go over there because this filo da puta says, oh, I struggle to have confidence and I struggle to concentrate in games. I start singing tunes to myself to, bro, X Factor's down there, so filo da puta. Go and audition over there. You know what I'm saying? So filo da puta. Where's my charger? My battery's back to that. Close that thing for me. My batteries are about to die just like Ramsdale's career, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? About to die just like Ramsdale's career. Let me plug this back in. Filo da puta. Do you know what I'm saying? Because listen, my streams, I don't perform like Ramsdale, yeah? We don't drop the ball, yeah? We turn up and we perform. There's none of this pucaria about not performing and not turning up, filo da puta. So yeah, that's plugged in. As I was saying, not good enough. Sell this filo da puta. I don't want to hear him nor his dad coming out with no more pucaria about my son deserves time, my son deserves games. Cala boca, so filo da merda, and get out of my club. I'm sick and tired of Ramsdale. But let's move on. Because there's other people to talk about, and I'm sick and tired of talking about Ramsdale already. I'm tired of this guy. Raya's number one, and that's it. Now, I think Saka had a decent game. I think he started off the game really, really well. I think with time, he kind of started drifting in and out of the game. Sometimes his final ball wasn't of the level that I wanted. I think he had an okay game. I don't think it was amazing. To be honest, I don't think the whole team had an amazing game apart from some individuals. We wasn't scintillating like we was against Sheffield United. I think Saka had an okay game. And it's the same with Trossard. I think both Trossard and Saka had okay games. I don't think that they were amazing. It wasn't a game that I'm saying, oh, I'm going to, rave about this game. This is absolutely absolutely amazing performance from Saka and Trossard. I know some Arsenal fans are going to say, oh, but you can't blitz teams 6-0 every game. No, but the performance, this first half was better than the second half, but it still wasn't to the level that I'm expecting. I think Saka, he was good within the first 15, 20 minutes. And then after it was kind of a little bit, meh. There was a meh to our performance today. We've got a lot of possession. We were pinning them back. But at the same time, our final ball wasn't good enough. Our finishing at times wasn't good enough. There was a couple of opportunities that were missed. Kai Havertz missed the opportunity. Obviously, a lot of people are not going to be talking about that because he scored the winner. But it wasn't the greatest. I think Odegaard had an okay performance. It wasn't as scintillating as it was against Sheffield United. I think everyone kind of had a mere performance. I think Jorginho had moments. There was a good time where he put a ball over the top to Kai Havertz. Jorginho, he was decent. He had some moments. I think Declan Rice was one that was consistent. I think his performances were very, very good. I like Declan Rice's performance today. But everybody was kind of middle of the road. I can't lie. I think Ben White is one that we have to talk about because I think Ben White today, his distribution, his crossing today was absolutely A1. I think his crossing today was fantastic, Ben White. I think we need to see even more of this But Ben White today is probably my man of the match. I think he was consistent. Look, Declan Rice also played well as well. But when I'm talking about Ben White, I think Ben White he was a lot better. He had a little bit more in his end product than what I saw from Odegaard today. I don't think this is a game where Odegaard was incredible today. I have to keep it real. I think Ben White's crossing was absolutely absolutely A1. Absolutely A1. I think the centre-backs did very, very well. Gabriel, stupid yellow card. You don't need to pull the player back. There's no need to do that. It's kind of unwarranted. What is the point of pushing the player back? You know, as soon as you pull the shirt, you know you're going to receive a yellow card. There's no point of that, but it is what it is. I think Saliba was decent. He was solid. Like I said, for me, Ben White is my man of the match. Odegaard still left me with a lot to desire. It's not his best performance. Kiwior was decent. I didn't think Kiwior did anything that crazy to that bad. Declan Rice, listen, did very, very well for the goal that was set up by Ben White. I think Declan Rice has been doing that, though, getting in the box, making good runs, late runs into the box and headering the ball. And listen, he got us ahead at a good time. And big up to Declan Rice, because Declan Rice, for me, has been the signing of the season. He's been one of our most consistent, if not our most consistent player. And listen, big up to Ben White, man. I've been very, very impressed and very happy with Ben White's performances. Trossard, to me, kind of drifted in and out of the game. His passing was a little bit meh. It wasn't that great. Havertz as well, he was a bit frustrating, you know, and I was going to be talking about Havertz and that miss in front of goal, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, literally ball through by Jorginho, great ball by Jorginho, cuts through, literally a defense cut-in pass from Jorginho to Havertz, through on goal, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and you don't bury it. And this is why when I tell people that Havertz is not a gunman, this is the point that I make. Listen, props to Havertz, and I am going to get onto his last goal that made us win the game. But at that point, I'm like, you have to bury that. A one-on-one chance, you're a striker. You have to be burying that. The weight of the pass, the vision of the pass by Jorginho was A1. A1 by Jorginho. Now you have to do your job, and he smashes it wide, and I was frustrated with Havertz when that happened. But big up to Kai Havertz, man. Another cross by Ben White to find Kai Havertz like he found Declan Rice in the box, and he wins it for us. And listen, he took it well, and it came at the right time. Literally deflated Brentford, and all of a sudden they had no answers. And this is why I'm so annoyed with Ramsdale, because that flipping filo da puta is just not good enough, bro. I don't need Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys in goal. This guy is just too dramatic in everything, bro. His celebrations, doing all of this to the crowd, all this like fist pumping, bro. Do your job, man. Do your job. I don't need all of that. Just do the basic things correctly. For me, I'm sorry. I'm done with this Ramsdale experiment, man. This guy is way too emotional to be, you know, part of our defensive makeup. I'm done. I'm done with that guy. For me, not good enough. I'm not impressed. Not good enough from Ramsdale for me. Get rid of that filo da puta. Not good enough for me. But yeah, listen, I don't think today was absolutely amazing. I think in the second half, and this is what I've been telling people. Listen, I'm happy. We had to win. We did that. Listen, no matter how it came about, we did what we needed to do. We needed the 3 points to go top of the league. I am happy. I'm annoyed directly with Ramsdale more than anything else. I'm happy with the result. I'm content with the performance. Ultimately, we got the 3 points. Yeah. But for me, Ramsdale, my annoyance today is on Ramsdale. It's not necessarily on the whole of the team. And necessarily on the manager, it's with Ramsdale. I understand. I'm not going to grill Arteta for the fact that Ramsdale played, because he didn't have the option to play Raya. Raya couldn't play this game. So I can't blame Arteta for that. But for me, Ramsdale, I'm sorry. If you're going to be screaming and crying and bitching and whining and doing all of this tell-all and trying to do the Piers Morgan thing like Ronaldo about, oh, the manager isn't selecting me, you need to perform. And this ain't the first time that I've seen this from Raya. This ain't the first time. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm sorry. I'm done with this goalkeeper. I'm done with this goalkeeper. It's time to go. We need to move on from this goalkeeper. I was happy to keep him as a second option, but now this is the final straw. We are in a title race. These fine margins will determine if we get over the line or not. I cannot be having my second goalkeeper dropping howlers like this. Look at Kelleher for flipping Liverpool. Look at his performances, and then look at today, Ramsdale, Lloris's performance, bro. And tell me that Ramsdale's performance today and his performances at the start of the season don't remind you of Karius for Liverpool when they get into Champions League finals. when Liverpool, when they're in different finals, when they're in the league, important games to get them over the line to win major honours. And what did Klopp do? Got rid of him. You can't have goalkeepers like this. You can't have goalkeepers that cost you. Goalkeepers are, listen, having a good goalkeeper will win you so many more points. And we've seen it. Look at our defensive record in the last couple of games. Having Raya that's calm in his distribution, commanding in his box, knows how to talk to the defenders, does his job. Instead of always punching it out, grabs the ball, puts it down, lets the goal, calms down the defenders. Defenders need to feel secure in the goalkeeper behind them. But we don't get that. Listen, if Klopp said, listen, we've seen this also with Pep. Yeah, Pep had heart. Pep said, you know what? Nah, this goalkeeper ain't good enough. I got to get rid. Not good enough. He didn't say, I've got to keep working with him. He saw that he's a liability, got rid of him, got rid of Joe Hart. All of a sudden, Joe Hart was no longer the number one. And Joe Hart was the number one at Man City. This is what Arteta needs to do with Ramsdale. This is what he needs to do with Ramsdale. Yeah? You seen it again with Liverpool. Karius is there. Klopp gave him chance after chance, final after final, flopping, costing the team. What happened? Got rid of him. And this is the same porcaria that needs to happen with Ramsdale. Sorry, thank you for your services. Goodbye, so filo da puta. No more. And listen, take you and your dad, and listen, start fighting your own battle, so filo da puta. This guy's calling HR every 5 minutes. Oh, dad, they're bullying me, dad. Dad, they're not selecting me. They're not letting me have any game time, so filo da puta. Fight your own battle, so marica da merda, bro. What's this Bisha always calling his dad for? Are you not a grown man? Calling your dad all the time. Do you know what I'm saying? So, nah, man, I'm done with Ramsdale, bro. I'm done with this guy, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? The only way the fans will get behind you is if you give 101%, yeah? You give 100% to the team, and then the fans will be like, right, well, Ramsdale's performing now. Arteta, why are you not playing him? He's got a point. Every time he's selected, he's doing his job. But every time you're selected or called upon, you're dropping howler after howler. This absolute blonde flipping Karius, this filo da puta, get out of the club, you absolute bum. Done with this guy, bro. I don't want to hear no one chatting to me about Ramsdale ever again. Done with this filo da puta. Absolutely done. Let's get into the highlights of the game. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into the highlights of the game because I'm sick and tired of talking about this filo da puta. But the start of the game, Gabriel pulling the Brentford shirt. Like I said, stupidness. It was just silly. There was no need to be pulling shirts. Brentford corner. Ramsdale gets it. Good throw in by Ramsdale. And this was the one good thing I will say about Ramsdale. Because there was one good thing Ramsdale did this game. One good thing. That long throw into Trossard. Yeah. Brentford had a corner. Ramsdale gets the ball. Long distribution. Long ball into Trossard. We catch Brentford cold turkey. On the break, two flipping Trossard. And Trossard takes way too many shots instead of trying to lob the keeper. The keeper was out of his line. He was out of position. All Trossard needed to do is lob the goalkeeper, and that filo da puta doesn't do it. Why? All you had to do, Trossard, is lob the goalkeeper, bro. Literally, Ramsdale did all the work for you to score that goal. All the work, bro. You literally just had to run at goal and then just chip it over the goalkeeper. And that was poor from Trossard. I can't lie, that was poor. But to be honest, I don't think Trossard had an amazing game today. And people know that I like Trossard, but I'm going to call it out. If you don't have a good game, I'm going to call it out and say it as it is. Anyway, great cross in the box by Ben White. Rice heads it in and makes it 1-0. Like I said, top from Ben White, man. And I think Ben White deserves a lot of praise because Ben White has actually been very, very consistent. Let's just keep it real. Ben White has been very, very consistent in his time at Arsenal. I think he's performed very, very well. A lot of time, his performances go under the radar, and that's because he always drops good performances. And that's what I want from defenders. I don't want a flashy defender. I want a defender that can defend. And when he goes forward, he doesn't forget about his defensive duties. And I think that's been Ben White. Ben White's been very, very good. And I think we need to influence him to cross more, man, to cross more. Listen, if you can cross the ball, we don't have many players that can cross the ball. Let's just keep it real. We've got flipping Declan Rice that's good on set pieces, but in open play, a lot of our players are really crap at crossing the ball. So if Ben White's going to be the main player crossing the ball in the box, long may it continue. We now got Declan Rice that can header the ball. We now got Havertz that can cross the ball, that we can cross the ball to, and is a decent header of the ball. We need to utilize that. Ben White can start spamming more crosses into the box to Declan Rice and to Havertz. And like we saw today, they scored. They may not score every single time, But at the same time, we have now somebody to target to, because before we used to cross the ball into the box. Jesus wasn't going to get to it. Saka isn't a great header of the ball, and neither is Martinelli. So now we got options, and long may that continue. Long may that continue. Odegaard in the box, doesn't shoot, takes way too many touches, passes to Kai Havertz, and Kai Havertz in the box smashes it straight to the goalkeeper. And these are the times that it's a bit frustrating. It's like, bro, smash it first time. Odegaard could actually just scored. The way he scored against Sheffield United, received the ball in the box, shot the first time, goal. Why didn't he do that against Brentford today? I don't understand it. Taking touch after touch after touch after touch. Then he saw that the defenders were closing him down, released it to Kai Havertz, and then Kai Havertz with a poor shot that goes straight to the goalkeeper. Release it faster. And this is the thing with Odegaard. Sometimes he just one touch, shoots, goals, and then another time he wants to take too many touches, and every time he does that, we never score. So listen, we need more from him. We need more from him, from Odegaard. I think this game wasn't the best from Odegaard. I wouldn't say it was completely trash, but he wasn't amazing. And these are the fine margins. These are the times where he needs to be faster, you know, and he divers on the ball too much sometimes, Odegaard. And his decision making needs to be faster. And he could have been on the score sheet today. That was a great opportunity missed by Odegaard. Arsenal corner, Gabriel heads it over the bar. And this is what I've been saying when people telling me, oh, you know, Arsenal can score from set pieces. Arsenal are going to be great at scoring from set pieces. We don't always score from set pieces. And I knew that it's not something that we can consistently rely on. We don't constantly. Gabriel today had two or three chances. We had so many corners in the second half. We had so many corners. Yeah. And we didn't score from any of them. We didn't score from any of the corners. And I said, listen, I don't think this is something that we can consistently count on. But it's an option. But I don't think we're going to consistently score from free kicks and corners. We're not. And today was another example. And it happened again against Porto. We had so many corners from against Porto and we didn't score any of them. Today we had so many corners in the second half. We didn't score from any of them. So, yeah, listen, Gabriel puts it over the bar, you know, so it is what it is. And he's been the guy that scored the majority of the goals from our set pieces, Gabriel. But today he was unable to put it in the back of the net. Jorginho, ball over the top to Havertz, shoots, but it gets blocked. And this is what I'm saying about Jorginho's passing, man. Long may it continue. He's always finding players unmarked from deep. And long may it continue. I think I wanted to see more. There was times where I remember Jorginho doing it. There was other times where he was playing more the safe pass. I would like him to spray those diagonal balls a lot more often. But yeah, I think Jorginho had a decent game. I still think he had a decent game. There was another long ball from Jorginho to Havertz. Put Havertz one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and obviously Havertz smashed it wide. Pass back to Ramsdale, and literally it takes him forever. Even when I rewatched it, I said, was that a hospital pass? Because that didn't look like a hospital pass. And it wasn't even that Ramsdale took too many touches. He just took a touch and took way too long to kick it back up. And yeah, that was the equalizer, made it 1-1 going in at half time. And after that, I think that just literally took the wind out of ourselves. I think the way we came out in the second half was we played completely different to the way that we played in the first half. It was more set pieces. It was more snatching at it. It was more long range shooting and things like that. It was poor. Corner from Ramsdale. Brentford corner. Ramsdale coming out of it and flapping at it. And this is what I hate about Ramsdale, the flapping at it. He always punches it back towards the opposition. And then all of a sudden they start catching our defenders cold and we're out of position. And then they start spraying shots on target. And yes, Ramsdale had a couple of good shots, can't even get my words out, a couple of good saves. But ultimately, he was putting himself in that situation. Instead of catching the ball with two hands, he's punching it out, putting us back under pressure, poor distribution. You know what I mean? Not commanding in his box. He puts himself under pressure. And we look vulnerable. We looked vulnerable when we came out at 1-1. We really did. Long range shot from Tony. Ramsdale off its line, almost got chipped. Arsenal corner, Gabriel header straight to the goalkeeper. Like I said, Gabriel today could have done a bit better on the set pieces. Definitely could have done a bit better. Could have at least scored one of them. Crossing the box from Trossard is pulled back and no penalty given. Now, I don't want to hear no pukaria about we needed a penalty, bro. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing, bro. Like, at the end of the day, we shouldn't be relying on it in the first place. I know a lot of people are going to be talking about penalties and this and that and decisions and that. Let's keep it real. Kai Havertz should have been sent off today. Kai Havertz should have been sent off today, diving in the box when he was already on a yellow. He deserved to get another yellow and he deserved to get sent off. He deserved to get sent off. So at the end of the day, listen, I'm not listening to penalties and all that kind of stuff. I'm not hearing it, bro. Because Kai Havertz should have been sent off. Synchronized diving in the box. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to lay on to him too much. Ultimately, the fact that he wasn't sent off, he scored us the winner. But in all reality, how many Arsenal fans are going to be like, you know what? We won this game, but Brentford should feel aggrieved because Havertz should have been sent off for that last dive in the box. He should have got a second yellow and he should have been sent off. If that happened to Arsenal, you already know the fan base would have been like, oh, they robbed us. Their player should have been sent off. He should have been sent off for diving in the box. But you're not going to hear that because Arsenal fans, let's keep it real. The majority of them don't keep it real. They only want to call these things out when it happens to us, not when it's, you know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But yeah, what's this? Arsenal corner, Gabriel header. Puts it wide. Havertz diving in the box. Like I said, he should have been sent off. Cross in the box. Brentford player header. Ramsdale saves it. No one marking him. Listen, that was a good save by Ramsdale. That cross whipped into the Brentford player. I don't remember what player it was, but he had a free header. Nobody marking him. Everyone ball watching. And it went straight to the goalkeeper. We kind of got away with that one. I can't lie. He kind of got away with that one. Cross in the box, Brentford player header, Ramsdale saves it, no one marking him. Ben White cross to Havertz, and he heads it in 2-1. Like I said, today, listen, we just need to get the job done. I'll keep it real. The performance wasn't amazing. The performance wasn't atrocious. Yeah, the goalkeeper put us in a stupid situation, but ultimately, we did what we needed to do. We needed to win today. By hook or by crook, whatever it took, we needed to get the win today, and I'm happy about that. And listen, it's Kai Havertz. I have to keep it real. Kai Havertz, he delivered today. So, you know, praise to Kai Havertz, man. You turned up when we needed you to turn up. And long may it continue. I'm not a big fan of Kai Havertz. People that watch the channel frequently know that I don't fully rate Kai Havertz. But I think Kai Havertz did really, really well today. Kai Havertz, he turned up today. You know, when we really needed him and we needed that... when we really needed a goal, he turned up. So I'm not going to bash him when he turns up. I'm going to praise him. Well done, Kai Havertz. Well done. Now, we're going to need you against Porto. So we're going to need this performance again. We need you to be clutch. We need you to get a goal against Porto. We're going to need you to turn up against Porto. We're already 1-0 down in the fixture. You need to turn up as well. And long may it continue. Listen, just because I don't rate a player doesn't mean that I don't want to be proven wrong. I want Kai Havertz to come good. I don't believe he will consistently score goals. Prove me wrong. At the moment, what is it, 4 in 4? Keep going. Keep going. Keep shooting. Keep scoring. The link is out there in the chat right now, familia, for anyone that wants to jump on and have their say about the game. As you know, put your mic and your camera on. And yeah, man, listen, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. At this stage of the season, the only thing that matters is a win. Big up to the team for pulling it off. That's what I'm saying, familia. That's what I'm saying. Like, ultimately, it's just about the wins, man. It's about just getting the 3 points. That's all that matters right now, is 3 points. It's absolute facts. Every game is a must win. And now we've done our job. Now, all we can do is sit back and say, listen, the team has done their job. Yeah, we've got maximum points. Hopefully, things go in our favor. Man City and Liverpool get a draw. And that's the best thing that we can do. That is the best thing that we can do going forward, man. That's the best thing that we can do. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. What's this? Jorginho looks all right now. Yeah, he's looking decent, man. He's being consistent. Listen, my thing with Jorginho was about the consistency. Like, can he be consistent? You know what I mean? But at the moment, he is being consistent. Big up, George. Big up to you, my guy. Do you know what I mean? What's this here? What's man saying? We still deserve the yellow card. Yeah, fair. Yeah, listen, fair enough. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie. Kai Havertz should have been sent off. You know what I mean? People were crying when Georgie was off, but I wanted Jesus on. Don't think he did that much, but good sub. Also, Ramos, second half, great. Let's be honest, Raya concedes the chip. However, we move. It's his last game. Bro, I just think he's a liability, bro. I think, and we can't be having liabilities. Like we said, imagine if we drew today. That's 2 big points dropped. You know what I'm saying? We're already the chasing pack. So Listen, it is what it is, man. I'm just glad that it's going to be Raya back in goal because I can't be dealing with Ramsdale and all of this nonsense, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Jorginho looks all right. Imagine we didn't loan out Tierney. We could have have White crossing the ball in from the right and Tierney crossing in from the left. Yeah, we could have, bro. We could have. But yeah, man, it's mad. It's absolutely mad. Good evening, bruv. Jesus got a good cross in him, right? Jesus got a good cross in him from the right. He reminds me of the Wigan Valencia on the right. Yeah, facts, man. Facts. He's performing at the moment, man. He's performing. So big up to him, man. He's performing at the moment. He's performing. Let's get this up. Hold on. Yo,
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. Gabriel, you go first. The other one. All right, let's take away his cameras off. Hold on, let me change this. Hold on. What are you saying, bro? What do you make of the game, bro?
Okay, so I'm happy with the result, not too happy with the performance. Cool. So the performance-wise, right? Overall, the team wasn't bad, right? But I just feel like there was waves of intensity where it should have been more consistent. For example, I feel like when we came out in the second half, we were playing like shit. We're allowing them to corner us. But I think that's because Brentford had a belief. And that's the thing, and that's the issue. This is the reason why I don't think we're going to win the league. When we're under that battle, when we're under that pressure where there's a wave of intensity from the opposition, we don't seem to be able to hold on or be able to move past that intensity quickly enough. And if we had a better, if Brentford had a better goal scoring team, so they have Ivan, Tony, you have Wiesa, of course, but if they had a better goal scoring team overall, and if the balls that were played in the box were onto the right people, they would have scored 3 or 4 chances. And that's my issue, because we need to be able to find a way to almost counter that intensity that they put upon us. I think there was a passage of play where either Tony was down the left and he took the shot in. I don't know why no one was marking him. And Ben White inverted, so I'm expecting the right-hand centre-back to track across to Ivan Tony, but no, we're moving too slow, and that's my issue. We're playing too slowly. Overall, yes, I'm happy. My opinion hasn't changed on Havertz yet. Of course, he's getting GA now, but overall, Havertz is not worth £65 million. The amount of quality we could have got for 65 mil is crazy. We could have got a Karius, and if we added the extra 10 mil, we could have probably got Maddison too. And we spent that all on one player. And yes, he's given us winning moments. And at the end of the season, if we win, and I'll put my hands up and say, yes, of course, Kai Havertz has single-handedly won us 6 points. So fair enough. But at this moment in time, I don't see all this hype about him. Nah, it doesn't really make sense to me, to be honest.
Listen, I hear some of your complaints, but are you not happy at the fact that we got the 3 points? Because listen, I hear what you're saying. The performance wasn't amazing. And when you compare it to Sheffield United, and not even just Sheffield United, when you compare it to our other performances, it wasn't as good. Now, we all know, we're not stupid. We know that we can't win 6-0 every game. We can't win 5-0 and all that. It was more the performance. And I hear you on that. The performance wasn't amazing. But one thing I do like is that we didn't capitulate. We came out in the second half and we looked like we were snatching at it. It looked like we had no rhythm and we're just trying to get the goal back. Then we settled in and literally, listen, Kai Havertz turned up. The team didn't capitulate. I will say this. I've seen Arsenal before in previous years. When the pressure's on, capitulate. We didn't capitulate today. Yeah. And we got the goal back. And we got the 3 points in a game that we had to get the points. We had to get the points and try to capitalize because we know City and Liverpool, they're playing each other tomorrow. And if they only get a point, that's great for us. We still need to do our job. So are you still happy with the result, at least?
Of course, I'm always happy with the 3 points. And I feel like this is the perfect game we needed. Because I feel like in this Arsenal team, because, yes, we have more experience now, but we still have a lot of youth in the club, right? With the constant win of 5-0, 6-0, it's going to build in complacency. And let's not forget, we have Porto and Man City next up. So I think this is the type of game we needed for a wake-up call to show everything's not rosy in the Prem. Everything's not rosy in the Champions League. And we actually need to put in more effort, if you go what I mean. Because like, let's say we won 4-0 today. I'm telling you, it's going to get to some players' heads. Oh, we won 4-0. We've batted the last 4 to 5 teams that we've played apart from Porto. It's going to get to people, players in the team. So I think this is the perfect game we needed to show that, yes, they still need more improving to do, but ultimately we had that fight, we had that bite, we had that resilience to continue and win the game. And yeah, I'm happy with the result. But ultimately, for the amount of money we spent, 700 mil or close to 700 mil, like, I feel like we shouldn't be having this sort of errors where we're fighting against Brentford. And let's not forget, Brentford's 17th in the Prem right now, and they're fighting relegation. So we are going up against teams that were supposed to win, and we're holding on last-minute wins, just like against Luton. So me personally, I'm happy with the 3 points, but I expect more, if you got me. Yeah.
No, I hear that, bro. I hear that. Love for jumping on, bro. I'm gonna get other people on, yeah?
Thank you. Yeah, that's calm.
Love, bro. Love, my guy. Love. Right, let's look at this Chelsea done here. Look at him coming through. You know what I'm saying? What are you saying, man? Listen, let's get Prime first, and then we'll go on to Tony Claude. As a rival, bro, what do you make of today's performance, bro?
I really watched much of the game, to be fair, but quite resilient from Arsenal. Brentford are very well drilled defensively. The fact that you guys kept pushing and going and getting the winner later on. You know, that's what you need. That sort of stuff that you need in a title race. It's not all about winning games 4, 5, 6-0. Can you do it under pressure? Can you do it when it's needed? And you did. All credit towards Arsenal.
No, facts. I hear that. Tony, what do you make of what Prime said?
Hey, big ups to Northside, man. And big ups Prime, man. Respect to you too. I just had a watch along. I just finished my watch along, and I saw you were online, and I was like, hey, man, let me get into the show and see my guy, my long lost guy. You know. Shout out to Northside every time. Shout out to you all the time, man. Big up to you. I see the work you're doing, man. Big up to you. See, guys, yeah. I was nervy moments down there, man. Northside. nervy moments, man. See, this is the reason why I've been Arteta out since the season. Yeah. This guy dumps us out of the Carabao Cup. Yeah. Dumps us out of the FA Cup. And then suddenly fringe players who are going to be coming in, yeah, don't have a platform to actually speed up their kind of like their recovery. How about that? Yeah, that's a problem. If the FA Cup was still there, Ramsdale would probably maybe had a kickabout with the boys. How about that? Get himself up to speed, get himself match fitness, get fitness levels up and to the optimum level to come into a game like this and you know, keep it clean. Yeah, keep it clean. How in God's name? Yeah, a goalkeeper. Yeah, who took us to at least the penultimate center, you know, last season. How come would you have a gaff like that, for crying out loud?
Because that is who Aaron Ramsdale is. That's who Aaron Ramsdale is.
Poor showing from Ramsdale, man. Totally disappointed in him. At least if you're not fighting to be in that Arsenal team, at least fight for a decent move down to Chelsea. How about that? Because Chelsea is the only team.
He's not coming to Chelsea.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah? It's easy for players. It's easy for players to complain, yeah. But when you get your opportunity, now it's down to you. It's no longer down to the manager, down to you, because you have to cause reason for the manager to consider you. Well, Trossard's been on the bench a lot. Trossard out of the front three, he's probably had the least amount of trust in him. Yeah, Havertz got put. This manager made way for Havertz to play in the midfield as a striker. He hasn't been dropped. Trossard came into this team, and as soon as Jesus was back fit, he was on the bench. Then he played a game on the wing. Then he was on the bench. He's the one that's been chopped and changed, even when he has performed. Kai Havertz has been playing regardless of anything. Ramsdale, you're complaining, yeah? Trossard didn't complain. Trossard said, right, cool. Every time I'm selected, I'm going to put a performance. Listen, today he wasn't amazing. Yeah, but he's tried to fight for his position. He didn't go run to his dad and start saying, oh, dad, look at what the manager's doing. Oh, I'm not getting any opportunities. He took some accountability that, listen, yes, at times I feel aggrieved that I'm playing well and Martinelli plays ahead of me or Jesus plays ahead of me, but I have to up my game. And I think Kai Havertz, Trossard has just got on with it. And that's what I like to see. Accountability also to the way that you're playing. But Ramsdale hasn't been like that. He's been moaning. Start of the season, he could have been our number one because Raya was dropping stinkers. Both goalkeepers are dropping stinkers. That was your opportunity to get into the team and say, yo, guys, don't forget about me. And he didn't have the excuse of Raya. Raya's coming into a new system and a new club. You got us to second last season. You already know how Arteta wants you to play. You should have cemented your position and you didn't. And then today, you're doing the same mistakes that you did at the start of the season. What warrants you? And how arrogant can you be to feel like, oh, I should just start. Oh, I should just be playing. Based off what? Because it ain't based off of your performances this year. Because none of your performances have been good.
Exactly.
I've been saying it since
it's time to go. See, Northside, is there any doubt? It's time to go. Guys in the chat, it's time to go. It's time for him to leave the football club. I want him out of this football club as soon as possible. Yeah, as we're making this a rendition down here, he needs to leave the football club. By the summer, he should be the first person leaving this football club. I don't want to see anything concerning Ramsdale in this football club. He needs to leave. He needs to leave. Someone else we're not talking about Northside is Benny Blanco. Oh my God. After scoring a stunner, just last week, comes in today, gives 2 assists. One to Declan Rice, who just shouldered that ball into the back of the net. And again, another one to Kai Havertz. But I'll make mention of that second one to Kai Havertz. Precision, the whip on that ball. See, you should understand that that's something they've gone about in training time and time with that number, because the precision with which Ben White hit that ball, the spin on it, just to get to Kai Havertz. And again, you have to give Kai Havertz the props for at least being there when we needed him. I've slacked this guy off this season on my channel, man. Total slag off, Kai Havertz. But oh my God, is the second highest goal scorer for Arsenal this season. 8 goals, 3 assists. It's talking aerial ability. He's looking that good. And you know what, if Modric is down there, came in for about 80-something million pounds, if Anthony from Manchester United, it's looking that horrible this season, man. I think Arsenal got a more better bargain in this 65 million transfer. Not to talk of Nkunku, who hasn't even scored up to 3 goals this season for Chelsea Football Club. So come on, man. I agree. I take that L. I take the L for Kai Havertz. I take the L.
I think it's weird. I think it's weird you're comparing Havertz to Müller and Anthony, who aren't good, and Nkunku, who's been injured. I think that's a weird comparison. But yeah, Havertz, you bought him, he suits your system. I still don't think he's a great player or anything. For me, I'm more about, especially in this day and age, it's about styles. And if a player suits the system, then it's going to work at some point. Havertz is going. I don't know. I think Havertz might be coming good, but there's also still that thing of is he just going through that purple patch that he normally does? Because he's done that at Chelsea so many times.
No. That's wrong. That's wrong.
He's been good.
That's wrong.
Well, Arsenal, though.
Let's get
that's wrong.
Let's get
Kai Havertz.
That's gimmicks. It's gimmicks.
It's not a gimmick. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me just finish what I'm saying. I'm not saying how is it a gimmick. I've literally just praised him, but also said there's also that. Let me finish. Hold on. I have just praised him, so let me finish. Hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. The reacting. There's also that little flip side of where that is Havertz doing what he has normally done at Chelsea and at Leverkusen, where between the months of February to March, he goes through that little purple patch of where he's scoring goals and looks good. The thing with Havertz is he needs to now continue that until the end of the season, And if he plays like a big part in you guys, say, winning the league or whatever, or maybe winning the Champions League, then fine, fair enough. But like, I don't know. I think Havertz has been like a good signing for you guys to see it. But like,
So from a Chelsea perspective, you've seen him do this before, Prime.
I've seen this little purple patch he's going through. I've seen it done before, which is why I'm saying that, like, yes, I get you guys can praise him for what he's doing now in these games, but going overboard, wait until we get to April, May, when it's crunch time and you need him to turn up. Wait until that point comes, and if it does, then fair enough.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong.
I'm just giving two perspectives, by the way. I praise him.
Hold on. Let him finish.
For anyone that wants to attack me, I've praised him. I said he's doing well for you guys. I'm not saying he's shit or anything. I've given also the other side, because I've seen him do this for Chelsea before, where Chelsea fans would get sold on a little purple patch and say, see, this is Havertz. He's going to start turning up for us, and then he just ghosts again. So I'm just giving you guys two perspectives. When I've had him play for my club, I've had him at Leverkusen. Leverkusen fans have said the same thing. Just giving two perspectives, but I've not slagged him off. So if you're going to get triggered,
fair enough.
No, that was balanced. We're going to get Fuad's take. That's fair. He hasn't slagged him off. He's praised him for his performance today, which is what I did. And I'm kind of with Prime. Before we get into Fuad, what Fuad's got to say, and I've said the same thing. When he performs well, praise him, but I want to see consistency. And I think when you're the third highest signing and the highest earner at the club, I do expect you to perform week in, week out, because you're on big wages. Not only did you cost us a lot, but you're on big wages. That is the expectation, and that is a requirement to win big trophies. But on today, once again, he's performed. Fuad, what do you make of today, bro?
Yo, do you know today, bro? I think today they showed a bit of fight, because they were in control. Do you know, like in the first half, even though we never created any chances, we were always controlling the game. And when we did create our first chance, the ball went in the back of the net. But that's Ramsdale. For me, he's so protected by the fans and the English media. And the guy's dead, bro. I'm honest with you. You know, like, that's all you have to do is pass the ball out. Nothing else. Do you hear me? Nothing else. I couldn't believe it when I was sat and I was watching the game, and I thought, why? Don't you understand? You're in a title race. You're playing for Arsenal, and that's all you have to do is pull the ball out. That's all you have to do. He made it so complicated for himself. Then the players, I think they felt it. Like Havertz gives something away in his interview. Like the players felt it. Like the players took abundance. Like I said, we all took responsibilities. We would all have fought for it. No, you wasn't. Jamie, no, you wasn't. But that's what you have to come out and see. Because this guy, Ramsdale, bro, it's good when he was doing well at Arsenal. Like when we were finishing 8th, 5th, he was doing well. But then last year, towards the end of the last season, when we were challenging, you could see all the mistakes he was making. And today he come in and done exactly the same as he did last year against Brentford, at exactly the same time as this time last year. But I'm glad we won this game, because it's important. And now we're going into Man City, not drawing with Brentford, beating Brentford and playing Man City. Whereas last year, we drew and got battered by Man City. So it lines up a good clash with Man City. Because this game was very important to Arsenal. They had to win. Because tomorrow, Liverpool are playing Man City. Anything's going to happen in that game. Is it going to be a win for Liverpool? Is it going to be a draw for Liverpool? Is it going to be a win for Man City? You don't know. But one thing you got to do is get your job right. Because if Arsenal would have drew today, we favoured them two teams.
Yeah.
You can't say no. That's why I agree with everything you said there about Ramsdale. I agree with you 100%. And like you said earlier on, why are you crying to hear that for? You're a grown-ass man. You play for Arsenal, bro.
But just a little bit away from Ramsdale, because I think everybody feels the same about Ramsdale. What did you make of the performance? Because I think the first half, we were decent. I still don't feel like we were scintillating. I think we were decent. I don't think we was as good as we've been in previous games. But I think in the second half, we looked rattled. The first 20 minutes, we looked rattled by that.
We did. Do you know what? Up to the 74th minute, bro, we looked proper rattled. And then when he made all these changes, like I think he went all out. I think Niels Nelson was like having a good little run, But then Ben White just put our magic ball in, and Havertz, fair dues to him. This is the second time he's done it when we've been under pressure. We need the goal. and he scored. Like, this is the third or fourth time he's done it. So fair dues to him. But yeah, the players, I think the players, when we conceded, bro, second half, it deflated them a little bit. I agree with you. I think it was like it was just trying. And after the 74th minute, then when we put more pressure on, then when Reece Nelson come on and then Zinchenko come on, because defensively we were all right. I thought Karius played well after 75 minutes, but I think Makela had the right thing. I think play a different dilemma because he had to with Zinchenko and Reece Nelson come on. But Partey comes on, takes on 3-4 players, bro. Do you know what I mean? So Partey's another one. Like he even though he come on for like when it was a few minutes and he had it on, he takes a lot of pressure off us, Partey, because you know he's got that class ability about him. He knows how to ping a ball forward, sideways, backwards. So I think Man City, bro, I think we're all going to be seeing Declan Rice and Partey playing together. I think now is time to bring him in. Big game moments. We need that. We need Partey. Partey's levels, bro. I tell you now. Even that first 5 minutes, what I see when he did, when he 1, 2, 3, 4, and he puts the ball forward, that's what we'll be missing, and that's gonna hurt Man City. Because in the Emirates, when Partey come on, 1, 2, 3, 4, Baba Martinelli flick on 1-0.
Fuad, please. I would like us to take it slow just a little bit. I still think that Thomas Partey still need more match fitness to get on to play consistently. I don't want to see that partnership just yet. He should play at least in 2 more games. I didn't talk when you were talking, Fuad. Let me just get across what I'm trying to say. That Fuad, I think it's too early to bring in Thomas Partey into this fray. Yeah, I see. Don't change what is working. This formation that's going on right now, it's working. Don't change what is working. Don't change it. Allow Thomas Partey to ease himself into these games, yeah? Let him come on in the second half, ease himself into this game so that he doesn't risk going back into more injury. I don't want to see him in that game against Porto, or less in the second half. I don't want to see him in that game against Manchester City because it's too early. He needs more match fitness. He's a little bit thirsty He needs more time. And to your question, Northside, yeah, you were talking about Arsenal's gameplay today. See, on the contrary, I do think that we've kind of like dominated the ball possession in that game. Yeah, in the first half and the second half, Arsenal had 72% of the ball possession. Yeah, Brentford had just 28. See, if you don't believe that, then just check the goal attempt. Goal attempt for Arsenal today, 17. Goal attempt today to Brentford, 9. Shots on goal, 6 to Arsenal, while Brentford had about 4 shots on goal today. Arsenal dominated that game. But again, one thing we need to understand is that Brentford isn't at the same level with like a team like West Ham in terms of their defending. West Ham defended poorly. Brentford, are most technical, more serious, there's more urgency in their defense today. So you can't go on and blitz this team 5-1, 6-0 all the time. In fact, I even liked it the way it happened today. I wanted to see Arsenal under pressure. In the past 7 games, I've not seen Arsenal under pressure. And when you go in to big games, that would really determine if you have the mentality, and the mettle to handle certain situations. These are the kind of games you need, where teams will rattle you, where teams will step up to you. All these other teams haven't stepped up to Arsenal. And that's why it's so easy to blitz these teams up and send their fans away after 17 minutes. Right here today, Brentford fans didn't leave after 17 minutes. That's a plus to Arsenal's side. The pressure is on. We're top of the league. This is the kind of pressure that will come with being at the top of the summit. Can Arsenal handle that pressure? Do we have the mentality? Let us answer your first question. We do have that mentality. We can go on. We can try to do it this season. It's very, very possible. But do we have the mentality to go to the Etihad to go win? That's a different kind of metal.
The thing is, I hear you when you're talking about. I hear you when you're talking about. We're going to get onto Eli because I want to know what Eli's got to say. But quickly before we get onto Eli, you can say that we had 17 shots, but what are the quality of those chances? The quality of the opportunities that we had today wasn't that great. The only 2 opportunities I remember is one by Odegaard and another one by Kai Havertz. Those are 2 opportunities that I said we should have scored. Yeah, the other opportunities that we had weren't that great. Yes, we had 2 opportunities from Gabriel from set pieces. In open play, I don't think that we created that many amazing chances. Just because you had a shot on target doesn't mean it's a great opportunity that was given to you. You can have a shot on target from far range. Second half, we were shooting from far. The chances of that going in was very, very low. The chances of you scoring from that opportunity isn't a great opportunity. And I think in previous games, we created very, very good chances and we scored a lot, but we had better quality chances. Whereas this game, I felt like there were very few chances that you said you should have scored that. That was on a plate. I think there was only about 2 that I would say that were on a plate. So that's the way I look at it. But we're going to go to Eli. Eli, what are you saying, bro? What'd you make of the game?
Man, we got out of there with the skin of our teeth, bro. We oh man, this game shouldn't have been that hard. It really shouldn't have. But only thing we had to do is just get out of that first half with a 1-0 scoreline, and we would have been golden. But no. Ramsdale just had to come out with some BS, bro. Some pucarias, you would say. Like it, bro. Where did that come from, bro? You know he's closing you. I know you see him out the corner of your eye. Like, I know you can't concentrate for a full 90, but what are you doing? What are you doing? Just huff it. Just huff it. And then you had somebody on the line. You could have easily passed to Ben White. What are you doing? You're not Raya. You're not Raya. I'm sorry to tell you. Like, you don't have that calm and patience on the ball like he does. You got to just hoof it, bro. Just hoof it. And that just made it all the more frantic for us going into that second half, because when we started that second half, we were forcing things. We weren't really, our normal fluid selves. We were forcing a lot of passes. We were trying to force shots and stuff like that. And that's not what we do. That's not the way we play. So that really hampered us going forward. And it led to.
Do you not agree with what Claude says? Because one thing I agree with what Claude says is even though the game wasn't going the way that we needed it to go, we showed a resilience to still get the 3 points.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree with that. 100%. Yeah. Like that's what we need to be showing. Like I'm happy that we dug deep and we showed a side today that we didn't show against Porto. And I hope we take this into that Porto game and we just smash them. Just go 100% from start. You know what I'm saying? And we got to be careful, because that game could have easily spun on this hill, because that Tony chance from 40 yards out, that could have just as easily been in the back of the net. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to be way more careful with, our possession, and we can have all the possession in the world. We can have all the shots in the world. If it ain't going in, what does it matter? What does it matter? Like we've seen the same story the whole season. All this controlled possession that we've been having, or whatever the case may be. When the shots aren't going in and the other team counters and their shots go in, all that possession matters not. You know what I'm saying? Like it really doesn't do us much good. Like we got to take advantage of the possession. If you see it, if you're 30 yards out, 25 yards out, 20 yards out, and you got a chance to shoot the ball. You know what I'm saying? Odegaard had quite a few opportunities to shoot the ball on his left foot, but he chose to try to, do that intricate pass or whatever the case may be. Same story from, the beginning of the season, where he just they just want to pass the ball into the back of the net. Sometimes you need to shoot outside the box, because you never know what might happen. You can score an absolute screamer. You can get a deflection. Anything can happen. Like in pro clubs, let's say for instance, you playing pro clubs. We play pro clubs all the time. Like we shoot, and then off some BS, deflection, the shot goes in and beats the goalkeeper. Like you never know what might happen. So we got to take those opportunities and not try to pass the ball around, like pass the ball in the back of the net. It's not going to work every single time, which we've seen time and time again. But like Tony was saying, I'm just glad that we found the resilience needed to eke out the win. Ben White with the man of the match performance for me, 2 assists, imperious performance. Like this guy, he's been performing ever since we came back from Dubai. He's probably been one of our best performers. I can't lie. Like he's definitely turned the corner. Like I can't really slag him off like like we could in the beginning of the season. Like I'm really happy with his performances. Like he's finally showing, his form from last season, and long may it continue. And same thing with what's his name? Kivior. Like he's been very good the past few games. Like I've been really impressed with him. Same with Kai Havertz. I've been really impressed with him. I still feel like a gunman would have scored that chance. That one-on-one with the goalkeeper, just lob it. Don't try to get that intricate lob ball, in the top corner. No, just lob it, just dink it. Like you seen Darwin Nunez last game for Liverpool. What was it, against Luton? Just lob the keeper. Like it didn't matter where it went, as long as it lobs the keeper, it goes straight into the back of the net. Like that, you got to have that composure. Like even if Darwin Nunez could score that, like I'm pretty sure Havertz could score that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to dink it. That's all you got to do, man. It's not that hard. But
Howard's gonna turn him against Man City. But before I go back to the point. Northside, just then, Tony Claude, you said, all right, it's too early to play party. We've got 10 games left, bro. So in these big games now, games like if you're Rodri, you don't mind playing against Jorginho and Rice and Bernard Silva. But when you're playing against Declan Rice and Partey, it's the mentality of the players because they know that's a solid team there. That's a brick wall. They're not going to get bullied by Man City. Rodri, even though Rodri, when he comes to the Emirates, Partey bullied him for 20 minutes. That's how they lost the game. So now's the time to play him. I'm not with all weather because against Man United, you can afford to play Jorginho. Against Chelsea, maybe you can afford to play. Even against Tottenham. But in these big games, you play your best 11. Against Man City away, you play against Leicester. Because if you play Jorginho in there and he does something wrong, the first thing the family's going to say, why didn't you play Partey when you know he's fit?
Won't your fan base say the same thing if you play Partey and he has a stinker? The guy's barely fit, and as of right now, he's not part of your best 11.
Nah, bro. It's a big game. You throw him in. You throw him in this big game against Man City.
It's a big game, and he hasn't played football all season. He's not ready to be
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
He's not ready. He's not ready. Prince Ward, I hate going against you. You know that. But he's not ready. He's not ready. The last time he came on, he had a stinker. Let's not act as if he has had a perfect performance today. Yeah? Even in the last game, he had a stinker. Let's get that correctly. He had a stinker. And again, see, Prince Ward. I'll push this. I'll push this further. Yeah, I am not even okay with the performances of Gabriel Jesus. He's had a couple of stinkers since he's come back. How about that? Yeah. And man, he's just coming.
Jesus needs the whole bench. I can't lie.
He's just coming back from injury. So in the grand scheme of things, you can't even blame him. You can't even blame him. He's coming back from injury. And that's what I'm saying. Let's be careful. Let's be careful with what we have right now. Let's ease this, guys. Let's ease this guy. I know, but again, let's ease it because they're not scoring goals anyway. Jesus came in the last game.
To be fair to what Tony's saying, Fuad, you said if we don't play him, people will say, why don't you play him because he's fit? If you do play him and he drops a stinker and we concede because of him, people will say, why did you play him? He's not fully fit.
No, but bro, it's not about
I was saying.
You're missing a point. You're missing a point. You're missing a point. The point is, Thomas Partey's presence gives them a shock, bro. His presence being there will give Man City a headache.
His presence is not here, though. He's not fit.
It doesn't. No, he's being fit now. He's been on the bench. Why do you think Arteta's rested him? He's got 2 weeks of training. He's got 2 weeks of working with them now. They got 2 weeks off Arsenal after this Porto game. They're going to come 2 weeks. Partey's going to train 2 weeks. They're going to come with a formation, whatever tactic he comes with, and I think Partey will start.
What if he gets three injured? What if he gets three injured? Because you remember when this manager's done this before. Quickly, Prime, and I'll let you go. This manager's done this before with Partey. He's been injured, introduced him back into the squad too early, and he's been re-injured. And then we've had him out for longer. And then he's out for the start of next season. Would you risk that is a question. But go on,
but Prime, he's been on the bench for 3 weeks.
All right, let Prime wait and say something.
Prime, but saving for this running.
No, it's not
like if Partey starts against Man City, and even if you win and he picks up an injury and he's out until the end of the season, like what's the point? You may have picked up the 3 points, but it's at a detriment because he's not there for the run-in when you need him. Like I think keeping Partey on the bench against City will be a good thing. Jorginho and Declan Rice are more than good enough to handle it.
I'll start Partey, bro. Partey got to start in that game, bro.
You don't need.
There's all assumptions in it. If he gets fit, if he gets injured, if he's fit, you play your best players. That's it, bro. That's how you entitle.
Partey is not part of your best 11.
Oh,
he's not part of your best 11.
He is
not this season. not
No,
this
no, no.
season.
He is when he's fit, Prime.
All right,
He is when he's
I'm gonna
fit.
He's
drop
not
this.
fit
I'm gonna
still,
drop
though.
this one bombshell, and then I'm gonna dip out because I got to get back to work. So I ain't gonna lie. I don't agree with Prime. I don't agree with Prime 100% a lot
Right.
of the times, but I have to agree with him and Tony in this instance because I feel like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't broke, do not fix it. We got to keep playing the same formation and then let him come on at halftime. So that way, you know, if we do have any issues, boom, we got Partey. Easy, easy money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if we do start him and he does get injured, then everybody's gonna flag our team. They're gonna flag the manager. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh well, Partey was injured all this time and then he forced him in and all this, that, and the third. And then boom, that's another stigma that we got to deal with. But
Better to stick with
if we
winning
play
formula.
if we play the team that we've been playing and we ball out and then Partey comes in and shears it up, you know what I'm saying? That it's a stroke of
But this
genius.
is,
And I feel like that's probably going to be the best
but
way for us to, you know, get a result in that
but
instance because
if it's
our
not
team has
working,
been playing well.
okay, I agree with that. But I maybe disagree slightly because if it's not working against Man City, what happens when they don't agree with Man City? You're not 1-0 down. You're not 2-0 down. You might be 3-0 down. Then what you do then?
Arsenal are not bad enough to be
No,
3-0
the team
down
who's
against
coming
Man
up
City.
against no, this is Rodri now.
They're not
This is
3-0
Rodri and De
down.
Bruyne. No, this is you're missing the point. This is Rodri and De Bruyne. You're not
But we
coming up.
have Declan Rice.
No, me.
I've
Yo,
seen,
We
I've
have an
seen,
element that we didn't have last year.
I've
You know what I'm
seen
saying?
Jorginho boss Rodri and KDB, and Declan Rice is one of the best DMs around. So you're fine.
Facts.
but
We
in the
didn't have that
Emirates,
last year.
like I said,
That's why we
It's
struggled
actually
because
the
Partey
best.
was
It's
out
actually the
and we didn't
best.
have Declan
To
Rice.
me, it's actually the best CDM.
My
It's
point
actually the best CDM in Europe, bar Rodri. You
listen,
know, anyone who
Facts.
thinks something different can let me know who that person is. You know,
Thomas
I
Partey.
think it's the
Yeah,
best. I really do think that Declan Rice is the best CDM in Europe, bar Rodri. If anyone has a more better defensive midfielder that probably this season in Europe, please let me know. I'll wait. I'll count to 3. 1, 2, 3. That's what I thought. See, you know what? Yeah,
Tony, are you
even this season, even this season, yeah. Let's don't act to see if we haven't beaten Manchester City. Man City have been
Are
beaten
you
even
only
with
saying that for the
Thomas
season?
Partey.
yeah,
So I
because
don't
who?
see that argument. I don't
All
see
right,
that.
big up y'all.
No,
I got
because
to
who?
get back to where my
Nah,
break just ended.
big up,
It was
Hey,
it was
love having me on,
right.
man.
big
Yo,
up,
listen, big up, bro. Yo,
Tony, are you
the
only
reason-
saying that off of the season, by the way?
No. When we played Man City in the
No,
Emirates,
not
when
Fuad, no,
Wait
Tony.
there. Pride, wait there. When Partey come on against, when everyone said it, also I can play your video back too if I have to go and clip it up. When Partey come on against our Man City in the Emirates, every Arsenal fan saying the ball was driving forward. Why? He strode the ball forward, and that's how we won the game. Because
Prince Fuad, no one is doubting the quality. No one is doubting the quality of Thomas Partey. But we are at the risk. But we are at the risk of losing this guy, even if we put him in a competitive match. Do you get that?
Point is, we've got 10 games left. You're not going to miss him from now to the end of the season because we played without him. In these big games, you play your best players. That's my point. And then that's everyone does it. You won't see if say Haaland was out for 3 months, you won't see Pep Guardiola say, "Oh, you know what? Oh, I'll put him on the bench for Arsenal. Get in our team." That's how it works. That's how you
No,
win titles.
I mean, Fuad, you know why you're wrong? Because Fuad, you know why you're wrong? Because Pep Guardiola did that with KDB this season. KDB came back 2-3 months after he was supposed to come back.
And who did he play against? And he come on and scored straight away.
Like,
But who did he come on? Wait,
yes,
come on. He scored straight away.
But he came. Keep in mind, he came back like 2 or 3 months after he was supposed to come back.
But that's the point. You're acting like Partey haven't been back. Partey's been back since February, since the start of February.
And I'm saying Partey doesn't need. He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to start.
As an Arsenal fan, you can have your opinion, but as an Arsenal fan who supports the team, you got to understand he's been back from the start of February. We're playing him literally at the end of March, going into April. He's back for 2 months. So you need to be.
Yeah, and he hasn't been
You
playing
need to play your best
games,
players in that game. I am not with this. Like the week before, what's his name? Nunes against I think he come up with a pensioners thing. As soon as Klopp knew he was fit, he put him straight in against Arsenal. A week later, he's playing against Brentford. So it works. That's what you do.
And 2 weeks later, he became injured. And 2 weeks later, after that, he became injured. That's what I'm saying. Consistency has to be put in place down here at Prince Fuad. He has been injured. And see, the last time Declan Rice and Thomas Partey had a competitive game together, that was in the Community Shield. That was the last time they both had 90 minutes being played together. I don't trust Thomas Partey to come in that game against Manchester City. I'm sorry, man. Northside, I'll take my leave now. Thanks for the opportunity, Northside. Thank you, everyone. And big ups to Manny.
You're not leaving after I'm joining, are you?
He's running, man. He probably owes you some money or something. He's running.
Manny, big ups to you, man. Let me allow other people talk. Definitely, I've been here for some time. Big up to Prime. Northside, man, always my guy. Anytime, man.
Anytime, bro. Love for jumping on, bro.
Man, bro. Big ups, man. One love.
Make sure
big ups.
I don't get Arsenal fans over-reliant on Tommy Partey. When you've got midfielders that are good enough, I don't get the over-reliance on Partey.
Let's get these two opinions. Let's go first. Central Man, you're here first, and then we'll go to Manny. Big up to the both of you for jumping on. Central Man, what do you make of this? Would you risk Partey in the next game? Would you start him against City? How would you manage this team if you was the manager?
I thought we're playing Porto on Tuesday. That's our next game.
Yeah. Would you play him? Would you play Partey?
Yeah, I haven't given him a game. Play for 45 minutes. I don't really trust Jorginho, man. Because of that game against Sporting Lisbon, we're leading, and then also boom goes the dynamite in our European adventures.
So you wouldn't risk him. Okay, fair enough. Manny, would you risk Thomas Partey in the next game? And what's your thoughts about today's game, bro?
Today's game, well, first of all, big up to Del Boy Gunner TV. Central and I were on that stream. It just got over, and that's why we're hopping on right now. Sorry for gate crashing the party a little bit late, but we don't want to take up too much time. Today, of course, what should have been in some ways another good win ended up being a little bit jammy, but that was also because credit to Brentford, they defended a lot better than the likes of Burnley, Sheffield United, and West Ham did, and made it really difficult for us. I like the title you put there. Ramsdale is the English Loris Karius. He could cost us everything. But I want to offer a little bit of perspective. Let's not get any ideas that David Raya is some sort of an upgrade, because I'll tell you what. Yes, it was a silly mistake for Ramsdale to make, and a big up to Prime Fuad, of course. Habibi, good to see you again. And Tayyib. And it was a silly mistake, because obviously, whenever you have to assume that you've got someone on your tail trying to nip the ball off you. So instead of trying to just move with it and prepare for a long goal kick, just look for the nearest defender and pass it to him. And that's why you've got to have your focus on the game and make sure that you've got a teammate in the vicinity to whom you can pass it. But the saves he made as well. And I know that a lot of people are going to, dismiss those saves. And I will say, of course, that the Tony save very nearly gave me Gonçalves vibes again. Remember Sporting Lisbon, let's not forget. But this time around, he got back quickly, was in the right place at the right time, and made the save. The one from Collins was a lot better. And I can tell you right now, if David Raya were in goal, neither of those saves would have been made. We would have, both of those goals would have been conceded, believe you me. So we never should have sold Emi Martinez, and neither of the two keepers we have will be good enough to help us win anything, be it the Premier League or the Champions League. And as far as starting Partey against Porto is concerned, for the sake of managing his minutes, I am not really in favour of that. But having said that, and I'll tell you why, because when he came on against Sheffield United, he looked rusty as hell. Had a few bad giveaways, which could very nearly have cost us. The only thing was we were playing against a Sheffield United team that simply had no confidence, and they couldn't even beat Bournemouth today after being 2-0 up for the better part of the game. That's all it says it all. And we're going to have to make sure that we try and use some other options, because there's something about Partey, really. I just think in terms of his match fitness, he's just not really back in it, if you know what I mean. And I wouldn't really want to consider risking him for, a game like this, especially if it comes at a big risk to us, if you know what I mean. So I would probably have to say no, I wouldn't risk him. And this is a serious game which we need to win. I don't want to have another early exit. Now, we were actually talking on Del Boy's stream, Central and I, and he can remember this. It was around about this time last year, Northside and everyone else, that we lost to Sporting Lisbon. And that particular season, we had a lot of Arsenal fans giving it chest, as Prime would say in the local vernacular, that, we're going to win the Europa League. There are no other teams that are better than us. And then what happened? We got lobbed from the halfway line, couldn't save a single penalty, and we got knocked out on our home turf. And it was one of the most embarrassing European nights ever, because bear in mind, Sporting Lisbon had 2 players suspended for that second leg, including their captain, Sebastian Coates. And yet, Antonio Adan had one of the games of his life, and we ended up going out. And the worst part about having such an early exit, Northside, and we've been through this time and again with Arsene Wenger, is that people are going to look at us and say, what sort of a team are you? That you claim to be this amazing team, and yet you can't even get your act together at a continental level. And it could very well have an impact, because let's not forget, it's joke settings again. People are going to doubt our character. People are going to say we don't have the bottle for games like this. And if we don't have the bottle for games like that, how can we be expected to have the bottle to win the Premier League? And so it proved, the 3-3 all draw against Southampton. So we need to win, and I don't want to run the risk of having to play Thomas Partey in that game. For the same reason, I don't want to see Jorginho play the game. Jorginho has a wonderful passing range, but I don't believe he has the legs. And if you remember, and you also follow the Portuguese league, Northside, you will know that boy, Francisco Conceição, Sergio's son, he was lightning quick, greased lightning. And so up against some really fast wingers and midfielders who were very quick on the transition and very nearly hurt us in the first half before getting that deserved win in the second, we could end up struggling. And I do not want to run that sort of a risk by playing players like Partey, who were just recovering from a long injury, or Jorginho, who doesn't have the legs. The only problem is, I don't know if we... Yeah?
Sorry, don't want to interrupt you, but why I disagree against the Jorginho part is that Jorginho in Europe has proved time and time again that the European game suits him very well. Playing in whether it be a Champions League or the Europa League, playing in those sort of games against like Portuguese sides, Spanish sides, German sides, it suits him very, very well. So that's why I'm considering the fact that Arsenal are a goal down and you need sort of leadership on that field. Jorginho, at least I'm not an Arsenal fan, so maybe my opinion's not that important, but like, if that was me, I would say it's a must for him to be playing in that game.
First of all, you're a football fan. Your opinion is important. I don't care if you support Arsenal or not. And you do have a connection, because obviously Jorginho and Kai Havertz are former Chelsea boys. Why do we always get players who do well for you first? I have no idea. We just never learn, do we? But I do get what you're saying. But again, last season, he had his chance against Sporting Lisbon, and he didn't really quite take it. I just worry that, and the reason why I brought Northside into this is because he knows that, obviously, first of all, let me also say, good watch along for Porto against Benfica. You saw how Porto cooked your lot. Otamendi may be great for Argentina, but for Benfica, he is utter lixo, as you would say. And, that Porto team as well will pretty much aim to try to hit us on the transition where we could be weak. And we've been lucky so far that in Premiership games this season where we've won convincingly, we haven't faced too many teams that are really good when it comes to hitting us off the ball or hitting us in transition. Porto are one such team. So I don't know if we can necessarily afford to play players who just won't have that that speed or that ability to read that game very well, or have the legs to cope with such faster players. But the only problem is we might end up having to play someone like a Jorginho or a Partey, because I don't even know who we could possibly bring on. I would. I know that you don't rate Emil Smith-Rowe. I think whenever he has come on the Premiership, he has tried to make a few things happen. But I get that this game might be a little bit too big for him. So it's preferably I wouldn't want that to happen. But it's another reminder that we have to, rejuvenate the squad. And this today was also another reason why we need to get a proper striker. Prior to that goal, and I'm adopting your mode here, Northside, Havertz was also definitely Lishu. That little left-footed hook over the bar, it was back to donkey settings again. And I will give him credit for the header. He was in the right place at the right time, took it very well, and it was a good goal to win the game. But, prior to that, there was no way that Havertz would justify starting as a false nine. And I remember one friend of mine telling me that if we give Havertz the same love that, Arteta's giving him, he could potentially become a 1-2 striker against us. Nope. We had a 1-2 striker. He was mismanaged by Arteta. And, since then, we haven't replaced him. And we've suffered for it. So we need a striker. We need someone who will suit our game plan. I know there's talk of Karius from Sporting Lisbon. You might be able to run the rule on him better than any of us can. But someone like an Ivan Toney, yes, he had a quiet game by his standards, but he very nearly could have caught Ramsdale out had the keeper not pulled off an important save. So we've got questions to answer. And so a lot of people are saying, we should. A lot of people are saying, that we should, as Fuad would say, think big. We are in a title race and we must start to think big. All I'm saying is let's be, circumspect. This time last season, we beat Bournemouth 3-2. Everybody was lauding that victory as the stuff of champions. We all know what happened afterwards. And with that, I'm done.
No, I hear that. Listen, big up to the super chat. Chris Clark, Manny knows his stuff. Porto is a do or die game. Big up to you, bro. Listen, I think a lot of this fan base will still say, oh, bigger fish to fry. Don't worry, free hit. We still got the Premier League. So you already know how this fan base go on. You know what I mean? Because we'll still be in another competition. They will just put it down as a free hit. But listen, we're going to wrap up. And before we wrap up, I want everyone's predictions for the next game against Porto. We'll start with Central Men. What's your prediction against Porto, bro, on Tuesday?
2-0.
2-0 Arsenal.
Yep.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fuad.
3-0.
3-0, yeah? This guy, man. Prime, what do you think the score would be for Arsenal on Tuesday?
Oh, against Porto, you win 2-0.
2-0, yeah? Manny.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick my neck out and say we sneak a 2-1 win after normal and or extra time, and we sneak through on penalties.
Ooh.
I hear that. I'm going with Manny.
No, who would have guessed? I agree with what Prime said about Champions League.
What?
I agree with what Prime said. In the Champions League, Jorginho, these games suit him. Him and Zinchenko and Jesus.
Yeah, and also if like there's this narrative about like Arsenal like stepping up in European competitions. We know Arteta's record. I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently he has a record where in knockout rounds at home, he doesn't do that well in. You're going to need to play all the experience that you have. Jorginho needs to be on that field. That would just be my thing.
I agree with Prime on that. You need to play all the experienced players on that.
No, I hear that, man. I hear that. Listen, big up to boys for jumping on. Big up to Prime. Big up to Fuad, Manny, Centralman for jumping on, and all the other guys that jumped on as well. I really appreciate it. Big up to everyone that's smashing the like button, everybody that tunes in, all the comments, whether it's a super chat or a normal comment. Big up to everyone for all the interaction, everything. Tomorrow, I will be doing the Benfica watch along against, I think it's Estoril. I think it's at 8:30. So I will be doing that with Strasbourg Steve. Francisco won't be available, I don't think. He might jump on, he might not. But yeah, man, listen, we did what we need to do today. And even though it's not pretty, I don't care. All I need is 3 points at this stage of the season. And we got that done. And hopefully, Man City, Liverpool is a draw. That is the best result that we can wish for as Arsenal fans. And yeah, man, listen, Kai Havertz, you turned up. We needed you to turn up. You turned up. Before the goal, I felt like you were a bit stinky, but you turned up. Ramsdale, I think everybody's realized he just ain't that guy. He ain't good enough. Kivior had a great game. There's a couple of players there that had a great game. Ben White, for me, still is my man of the match. Quickly, before we wrap up, who's everyone's man of the match? Let's start with Fuad. Who's your man of the match?
Why you have to start with me for, bruh?
So you don't rub someone's man of the match, innit?
Do you know what? I'm gonna give it to.
Shame you can't give it to El Nene, innit?
No, I know, bro. I was gonna give it to your cousin who plays with dogs, but he's not on the pitch.
Sorry, you're saying that's my cousin, bro. I don't even know him, bro. What are you chatting about my cousin?
Okay, I'm gonna give man of the match.
Suad, you don't want to play Jorginho or Partey in Europe. So who do you want to play in midfield with Declan Rice? Is it Elneny?
No. Of course, bro. My cousin. Man of the match today for me. I'll give it to Ben White.
Okay, Ben White. Prime. Who would you say is the Arsenal man of the match for this game as a Chelsea fan?
Man. King Kai, man. King Kai.
This guy.
He must deliver that Champions League.
King Kai. Look at
King
Kai.
That Champions League. All I'm saying, man, he must.
You're just running agendas. Look at this guy, man. Just running agendas.
Listen, I've been nice. I've been nice so far, man. Let me do it. I've been nice.
Cool. King Kai. Okay, yeah, King Kai. Centralman, who's your man of the match?
I'll go Deck Rice, man. King Kai, naming the planet from Dragon Ball Z.
King Kai. Listen, I was actually going to go with Rice before I said Ben White. So that was actually going to be my man of the match. But nah, for me, Ben White. But fair enough. Yours is Rice. Fair enough. Manny, who's your man of the match, bro?
Got to be the best 100 million we've spent in a long time. Has to be Declan. Well taken goal. He did make sure he kept the midfield ticking, and he's going to be crucial. And I will also say this: we are going to need a very big performance from Captain Odegaard. Just briefly, I promise you, Northside, I'll be brief. I was on Del Boy's stream, and we were discussing the merits of Odegaard as captain, and I think a lot of us can agree that he still has to really start stepping it up against some of the bigger teams. It's all right, being cajoling and being Tony Adams-like against teams you're expected to beat, but it's against the bigger teams that you show your mettle. And I think he went missing in the first leg at the Estadio do Dragão. He has to show up at the Emirates. But Declan Rice, man of the match, the unofficial captain in my book.
There you go. And without further ado, caramba, we're out. Love. Say.